Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Rich Latta here, back with another video. The Indiana Fever front office will not stop. They will find a way to move players around. They will move money, clear contract space. And the latest news demonstrates that we were all wondering what the domino from Kristy Wallace would be. I had been fielding questions. Shout out my man Gil Martin, who left a question about it. And as I was prepping to come up with all these scenarios, the Indiana Fever dropped this news that Kristy Wallace would be foregoing and sitting out the 2025 season. Now, when I hear that, I'm like, what does that mean? I don't understand. I'm sure many of you saw that as well. But going over to the website here. So in the press release said Indiana Fever forward Kristy Wallace announced today that she will not play during the WNBA season for 2025, electing to sit out the year. As a result, Wallace's contract will be suspended and she will not be eligible to return during the 2025 season, with the Fever retaining her rights. So this isn't like she can just go sign with another team. She's got to remain out for the entire year. If she's wanting to play, the Fever will have essentially first right of refusal. They'll have to release those rights if she needs to sign elsewhere, in the WNBA. Kristy Wallace issued a statement. She said, "This has not been an easy decision for me, but one that I make knowing that it is what is in my best interest at this time. I would like to thank the Fever organization for working with me throughout this process, giving me both time and consideration, and for their support of my decision. I look forward to cheering the team on from afar this upcoming season." Of course, she's Australian, and she joined the Fever in 2023. Last season, she appeared in 26 games, averaging 4.7 points, 1.8 rebounds. Stats really aren't too important here, but I believe Kristy Wallace was dealing with some loss in the family over the offseason, so definitely best wishes goes out to her on that front. I do want to kind of talk about the her run on the team and kind of like the ramifications and what can possibly be done with her salary slot. And Kristy Wallace was somebody that was getting a lot of playing time in the first half of the season, primarily kind of starting at the small forward position in that starting lineup as the Fever were stumbling out to that 1-9 record. There were people that would argue that Kristy Wallace was committing various degrees of basketball terrorism, being just played way too many minutes, missing way too many layups, and it was a struggle for her on the court. I don't know if it was a chemistry thing, if it was just an ability thing, or I don't know. I did not particularly enjoy watching Kristy Wallace in the lineups that she was used. Maybe as a substitute, deep bench reserve, there's some value there. Toughness and stuff like that. But as far as like the way Kristy Wallace or the way Kristy Sides deployed Kristy Wallace, I think those two were kind of linked, and I don't think it is a coincidence that once Wallace's minutes got reduced following the Olympics, and a little bit before that as well, this team kind of took off. Like all the pieces started dropping into natural order, and with Kristy Wallace being the last one gone, the only people that will be remaining on the club that were there last year at this point are Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and I believe Damaris Dantas, and everyone else has been kind of replaced, and they have like one more spot either for a draft pick or someone else is out there. Kennedy Carter's still out there. I know a lot of people are like, oh no, Kennedy Carter. It's absolutely ridiculous that she would not be in the league. Let's just establish that up front. Whether she would want to take some kind of role like that, I don't know, but there are a lot of options, for your last roster spot. You could look to draft a Haley Van Lith, as a backup point guard. You can look international. There are plenty of players out there that, could offer value at this spot. However, the Indiana front office managed to get this done, like whatever the convincing was, they clearly just didn't want to cut her or release her. That's going to lead to, conspiracy theories, I would imagine, from some of the worst folks on the internet. But, this ultimately, the team allowed Kristy Wallace to kind of break this news. So I'm going to take their word for it. I don't really see any reason they couldn't have just released her. They cut Grace Berger without, really thinking about it or anything. So, and it kind of makes it easier for the Indiana Fever because you never want to have to cut a player or anything. But since Kristy Wallace, is sitting out herself, it kind of makes, the organization's job a little bit easier. They can easily replace her. And I look forward to seeing exactly what they do with that spot. So from there, the Indiana Fever opens up $80,000 or so in their salary cap spot, and they've got a decision to make. Do you want to invest in the future, or can you just go for more scoring punch and star power right now? I think the lineup happens to be really great already. I think that starting five is great. I would love a microwave style scorer off the bench personally. And I don't see anyone better for that role than Kennedy Carter, but something weird is going on there. I would think, a player that was dropping 17 points a game last year would be able to get a look in the league. And as a fan, this is kind of a tough one with Kristy Wallace, because I know so many of us were kind of excited to see whatever the move would be with her, because I don't think any of us thought she was coming back. But in light of the personal turmoil, we never want to really see anyone struggling or going through it. And whatever, the situation is with her, hopefully all the light goes out to her, and, she's able to recover and, proceed with her basketball career. She sees fit. She is a player on the Australian women's national team, and she's probably going to have, an international career one way or the other. So anyway, this is Rich. What do you guys think the Indiana Fever should do with the last spot? Should they go draft? Should they swing for the fences like a Kennedy Carter? Or should they look international, and try to come up with some kind of hidden gem out there? Anyway, my name is Rich. I'm up out of here. Peace. One lifetime.